Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Hearing, live from the Nuance Audio US launch event. The US launch of Nuance Audio's hearing aid glasses will come as no surprise to anyone reading HHTM or following this podcast channel. Even so, the launch event in New York was a great way to learn their future plans and share them with you. After an opening presentation, a nightclub atmosphere including live DJ set the scene for attendees to try the glasses in the real world. Let's dive in.
Okay, hi Andrew, this is Davide. I'm the head of global marketing for Nuance Audio at EssilorLuxottica.
And it's a pleasure to see you again. Congratulations on the US launch in this spectacular event.
Thank you very much. We are very excited. Finally, after a couple of years of hard work on the product, on the go-to-market, we are finally on the market. And so we are collecting feedback from consumers, very excited and looking forward to do more.
Well, it really was quite a journey. I remember, it was summer 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, when I went to Milan to try the prototypes.
Yes.
And now here you are, very stylish, very nice looking. So first off, what have been the impressions of people who have tried it?
I think it was most of people here at the event were amazed about the product itself and the fact we are in a very noisy environment. Actually, we are reproducing what you call as cocktail party effect, is right, this one. And so actually the people are experiencing the right context and they are really enjoying the product. So working pretty well. I was just wearing it in the other room where the DJ is, and I must say that it's really helping to hear better, even if you don't have any hearing loss, honestly.
Well, there's always, as was pointed out in the main presentation, you may not think of yourself as having hearing loss, but one of the first things to go is your ability to understand people in noisy environments like this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the right context where you can really understand and experience if your hearing is like at the perfect spot or not. These are the typical contexts where you start to lose some words, where you start to say, okay, can you repeat? So we reproduce it exactly the kind of use case of this product.
And so the US rollout will begin in your optical channels like LensCrafters, for example. And how do you envision the rollout expanding from there?
Well, not only. Actually, we already launched the product on US territory. And so today, you can find our product in our retail network, naming LensCrafters, Target Optical, Pearl Vision, but also in our optical partner, so ECP, or national key account, and also already in some audiological partner. So already as of today, the consumer has the choice across different kind of channel and doors where they can find the product. And then this kind of distribution is going to increase. Since day one of our project and of our proposition, we told to the world this is going to be an open network model, meaning that if you want to distribute the product, happy, welcome, and there is a very democratic approach. So you can get the product and you can serve your patients in the best way.
Okay, and then if somebody does not wear glasses today, and they would order them, say, with the transition lenses, can they order them directly through the internet, or do they go into a shop even so?
No, you can order on nuanceaudio.com. So there is our website, and through the website, actually, you can order your frames, but also your lenses in the US. So basically, you can get your pair of Nuance Audio with also optical glasses at your home. So it's already live.
Okay. And right now you have two very nice styles, and you've got a couple of different colors and a couple of different sizes.
Yes, correct.
And I'm sure you've done your homework on styles that will appeal to the demographic that they would be aimed at, which
Absolutely.
is rather like you and I mostly, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And will you expand? Will you use any of the brands like Ray-Ban, for example? What are your plans style-wise?
So actually, on the style, we selected the two most sold style on US market.
And
so
you would
the
know.
round and the square.
Yes.
We selected the three most important caliber. So the frontal caliber, the frontal lens, which is 48, 54, and 56. And we select the two most sold colors, black and red burgundy. Now we are already working to expand color, style, and so on and so forth, and it will come in the next few months, let's say. On top of that, of course, I don't know, let's see, there is a possibility that we are gonna collaborate with some brands. This is, we just started this journey today with Nuance Audio. So we start with this brand, and then we will see in the near future what's gonna happen.
And how will it expand in different countries? What will the rollout look
Actually,
like?
we already launched also in Italy. That's launch started in Italy end of February, so we are at very beginning as well. Yesterday or last weekend was the first day of sales in France, so we started France, and then in May we are gonna roll out in Germany and UK, and very soon in Spain as well. This is just for the first 6 months of the year. The second part of the year, there is already a big pipeline of countries that we are aiming to expand. Start from Asia Pacific to Latin America.
And
more news will come.
And how difficult was it from a regulatory point of view to expand into all these different countries?
Yeah, for sure. That's a challenge because every country has a different regulatory environment. When it comes especially to medical device, class 2, over the counter. So it's a very specific law, country by country. So we started this part in US, where we got finally at the end of January the FDA. We started then also the part in Europe, where at the end of January, or actually before the Christmas, we got our CE mark. But anyway, every time that you need to open a new country, you need to assess regulatory environment, which may be different country by country. So it's a, let's say, time-consuming process, and that's why also we cannot roll out suddenly on all the countries around the world.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And my hat's off to you because you're globalizing over-the-counter hearing aids by expanding into these countries.
Absolutely.
As was pointed out, there's over 1 billion people in the world with
Exactly.
mild to moderate hearing loss. And for a significant percentage of those, this could be a viable solution.
Absolutely. That's, I think, our final aim, Andrew, is to give access to millions of people to hearing care. You know today that there is a big barrier for people with mild to moderate hearing loss to approach hearing care because of the stigma, because of the comfort, because of the price, because of several reasons. And we really aim to break down those barriers and give access to millions of people which are in needs. So to have a better hearing, better vision, and better quality of life.
And I really like this. I presented at OIHA last year and I talked about stigma, the different facets of stigma. And with these, I think of, for example, a person who's still working, who's feeling either real or perceived ageism, and how they might be at that moment in their life hesitant to wear something that looks like a classic hearing aid. And of course, the worst thing is not to do anything at all, right? And
Absolutely.
so in this demographic, this is an exciting solution.
Absolutely. And the work environment is one of main use case. And so I'm sure that it's going to help a lot of people in this environment too.
Now, what are your plans, your feature roadmap going forward? You've got now functioning hearing aid glasses that really work, right? I've tried them on multiple occasions
You
and
can
they
say
really
that
work.
they are
Absolutely.
working. Good.
Yes, and I could even refer back to the original report I did from Milan, where even though my own hearing loss is out of bounds for these glasses, the improvement was substantial.
Yeah.
But you have a feature roadmap beyond today.
Absolutely.
What does that look like?
We are already working to the next generation of the product. This launch is a launch not only of a new product, not only of a new category, but this is gonna be an innovation platform. So it's the first kind of a number of product that we are gonna launch in the near future. So we are already working on the next release, which are gonna be, of course, additional style and additional colors to expand the offer and assortment, but are gonna integrate also additional feature. Hearing test integrated in the glasses, hearing improvement in speech and noise improvement through AI. We are going to integrate some additional, let me say, health sensor to improve tracking of your quality of life, let's say overall. So, there are a number of things on which we are working and will come very soon.
And do you see the hearing feature merging into smart glasses as well, or will those remain distinct in your mind?
We don't know. Actually, the products are quite different because one is a bit more, let me say, as an entertainment product. So you can, of course, get picture, the video, you can do a lot of things, including the AI support. But in our case today, the product is more focused as a medical device, which is gonna solve a functional needs. Then if down the road, those two categories are getting together, we don't know, we will see.
Yeah, I understand the difficulty because you don't necessarily want to take a pair of smart glasses in for regulatory approval.
Exactly.
And yet at the same time, you could see the use case. I wear them, right? I'm shooting videos and I go into a nightclub.
Exactly. So let's see. We will see, and we will see also how consumer will react to this new category, and then we will decide.
Well, I'm optimistic for the future of these glasses and hopeful that people who are hesitant to get hearing care will see these as an option that get them started on their journey. So
Yeah.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you very much. I really hope that with this launch we are gonna help a lot of people to approaching the hearing care. It's something new, it's something that you must experience, it's something that you need to get used to, because hearing care requires some time to get used, but then the benefits are just over there. So I really hope that this is gonna convince a lot of people to approach the hearing care and have a better quality of life.
Well, I'll be watching with more than a little interest as it rolls out and see how it goes, how the acceptance goes, and then the global expansion. So
Thank you very much. It was a
congratulations
pleasure.
again, and thank you for
Thank-
spending some time with me.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm John Luna, and I'm with Super Audio. I've been with the company since the end of 2023.
And congratulations on the launch. This is an exciting event.
Thank you. Very exciting event.
You're wearing the burgundy ones too. I really like that color. It looks great.
I took my wife when I shopped for them, so I do like the burgundy. Everybody wears black, but I think they look good.
And so you led the FDA process for the glasses.
I did. I worked with the company, the regulatory and quality research team, and we brought them through the FDA process, which was a 510K process.
Okay, so yeah, tell me about it. You had to do the full 510K. And
Yeah.
what was the time lane for doing that?
Well, your standard 510K is 90 days, but we had a predicate that we were working against, and so we had to prove that the product was as effective as the predicate, substantially equivalent. And so we were able to do that through the normal timeline with no delays, and it culminated in a clearance decision at the end of January 2025.
Okay, so these are not self-fitting, and yet you still had to do a 510K process.
Yeah, because it's the first open fit product, we had to prove that it was substantially equivalent to the self-fitting predicate. So we had to show, using audiology best standards, best practices, real ear, speech understanding in the presence of background noise, standardized questionnaires, exactly that the product can do what other products could do in the market that were self-fitting or even prescriptive.
Okay, but now the pathway is open for future models because you won't have to go through this process.
That's right, yeah, for our product.
Yeah, for your product.
So we're a
right.
software as a medical device, air conduction, hearing aid software.
Okay. And then where were the clinical studies run? Were they run here in the US or were they run somewhere else?
No, actually they were all overseas. Some of them were in Tel Aviv, some of them were in Italy.
Okay. And how was that process? Were there difficulties because this is a unique product? I mean, what was the relationship between the development of the clinical trials and the development of the glasses? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, so the development of the glasses has been ongoing since the acquisition in July of 2023. And so when we got to the final version of the product and the final version of the software, both hardware and software, then that's when we brought them into our clinical work. And we compared that to a prototype clinical work. But once we realized we had the product that was going to meet the needs to get through the FDA, that's when we submitted.
And what then are the next steps for you in the regulatory process? Are you already looking forward to next generation models? And
Well, yeah, as you saw today in this presentation, we have a lot of future iterations of the product and things we can bring to the product. But right now my focus is commercializing the product in the US in both, the vision industry as well as the audiology space.
Okay, so what does it look like in the audiology space? In the presentation, you talked about mostly the vision space and the vision channels.
Yeah.
And how's it going to roll out in the audiology space?
So we're currently rolling out in the audiology space. We have practices that are owned in private practice and franchise practices that are offering the product to their patients and to their clients on a daily basis for the mild to moderate hearing loss. Now, in an audiology or hearing aid practice, that person has already had a hearing test most likely. That's not a perceived mild to moderate hearing loss. It might be they came in wanting to find out what their hearing loss was, but they're actually finding out that they are a candidate for this, and if they're not going to choose another product in the store, this is something that is being offered to them as an option.
Okay, so yeah, you have a bit of a pre-screening going on there.
Yeah.
And if somebody's out of bounds, they won't necessarily recommend the glasses to them.
That's right. Yeah. Now, it's always up to the consumer as perceived mild to moderate if they choose to buy it, but it's really for that mild to moderate hearing loss consumer.
Yeah, which really goes to the point that even if you decide to go with an OTC product, it absolutely is helpful to have a professional assessment.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's great to know because you know your candidacy, you know what your baseline is, what your hearing loss is that day when you have it tested. And so that's how it's working in the audiology channel. It's more of an assisted sale model or assisted dispensing model.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate you laying
thanks,
that
Andy.
all out for me.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
You're welcome.